One of you, please send me content page in WhatsApp. Did anyone
Yes, ma'am.
send? Very good. Thank you.
Ma'am sent, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma. Thank you. Just a minute.
Anybody knows? Tell me the page number.
Sorry, what do you want?
Ma'am, page number.
Okay. I think this is not sharing. Just a minute. Okay. Um, how many of you attended previous classes of mine?
Ma'am, last Sunday class.
No, no, fourth semester. Now you are in the fifth semester, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. In these four, any of you attended my classes?
Madam, your name, please.
Sudharani.
Ma'am, I think third semester.
Sudharani.
Ma'am,
Actually,
third semester.
Third semester attended. Which subject?
Mm,
Yes, ma'am.
Principles of
First
market.
semester.
Sorry?
Ma'am, I
Yeah.
attended first semester business organization.
Okay, very good. Did you complete it in first attempt?
Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. That's happy to hear. Hmm, right. This company law, and please, before I start, I would like to request you all see that when I'm taking the class, examination perspective, because we get only 6 classes, right? The entire subject. So each
Yeah.
class, one block completely we are supposed to complete. So we pick only the important topics of the subject. Okay. So concentrate what we are explaining, especially my class. Whatever I take, those are only important topics I am taking from the examination point of view. Okay. So please do concentrate in that topic. If you have any doubts at the end, you can ask me, but please don't chart yourself and don't pose the questions in between the class asking about important questions for the exam. Is that clear to you all?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because most of you, most of the time, busy in asking about important questions and ignoring, not paying the attention towards the class, the topics what you're explaining. So please make sure that you concentrate on the topic first, then we'll see whatever, okay, is important. So, right. So, I'm sharing the screen first, and in that, let us see our syllabus first, and let me complete our today's topic. Done? Are you all ready? Did you all ready or not?
Ready, ma'am. Ready, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Ready.
ma'am.
Keep responding so it becomes an interactive class. Actually, interactive class we good, but as we have very few classes in which the entire block has to be covered, once I start, I go on continuing my lecture, my class. So if you have any doubts, wait for the end. Write, take a pen, paper, write your doubts, and at the end, I'll give you a chance to ask the questions. Done? Right. Yeah. See, this is our subject, company law. Uh, in that, first, incorporation of companies. Uh, First block is that incorporation of companies, nature of company and kinds of companies. The next, incorporation of company, memorandum of association and articles of association, prospectus. These are our major first block topics. Okay, actually my mail was logged, so I could not able to open my previous PPTs of the same topic. So I'll just my professional mail if it all available, and I'll explain you. I'm so sorry. Once my mail is open, my personal mail open, from that I'll share you the PPTs. Okay. So till and later, incorporation of company. So first of all,
Okay,
know
ma'am.
why you are studying this subject. Company law. Why it is important for a BCom student. BCom student is a one who actually mostly has to mind about what accounts and all, right? So this is a feeling generally we have, the commerce related, business related, okay, and this all that, right? Then why we need to learn about the law? Yes. Being a businessman, when you start your own business, you want to continue your own business, you are supposed to have basic knowledge of company related or the business related rules and regulations, and certain acts relating to a business, being a businessman. Okay, so the basic information, if you want to start a business, what how you start the business, what legal formalities are required relating to your business, this basic information is provided. You need to require, you require that, right? So that require that basic information to this subject you will gain. Not only that, when you are going to work in a company, if you want to start your own business, you need this for your own purpose. The being a businessman, going to start your own business, what are the basic legal aspects to be observed to start your business, right? And if you are going to work at the some organization, there also you must know whether your organization has fulfilled all the basic needs required for their business or not, because you may be a responsible person to take care of that organization. So in either the case, you are supposed to have the basic information relating to your firm and the legal formalities and the legal aspects of your firm. So that's the reason why this subject has been added as a part of your curriculum. Did you understood? Because without knowing the objective of the subject, why we are learning this, you will not gain the knowledge. Okay, it's not simply some subject to be added even. It's not that. There is a purpose giving in this subject. It's not necessary company law means only law students read this subject. Anyone, because even the commerce student required, because after this BCom, you may go for like what you call uh, your own business, or you may work for the other organization, or some any profession, whatever you take, you need this basic information. Now, first topic, whatever I said, our first topic is, yeah, nature of company and kinds of companies, right? uh, Tell me, what do you know about the company? In the business studies, in your first semester, you all learnt about different forms of business entities, right? Yes or not? Come on.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. Company means what? Just whatever you understood, you can respond me. What you understood company means? What is the difference between a sole trader and a company, joint stock company? Can you please? Sole trader and joint stock company. Simple terms. Is this screen visible to you all?
Ma'am.
No?
Ma'am, continue, ma'am.
Okay. So nature and types of companies, kinds of companies, whatever. Nature of a company. Generally, what is the nature of a company? A company is the one which is treated as an artificial person because it works on its own. It especially a company, the owner and the business are treated separately, and it works on its own name because. Whatever a person buy for the purpose of business, everything that he buy on the name of the business, and it can sue the customer is if in case required, right? It has its own recognition identity. See, Reliance is there. You call any Reliance train, Reliance mart, that only, but you will not say Ambani shop I went, right? Do you say? What did you say? You will say, I went to Reliance Trends or I went to Reliance Mart. But you don't say, I went to the Ambani store, right? So, company means what? A company is the one which has its own recognition and identity apart from its owner, right? And the next one is company is the one which has it's a that is the reason why it is called as artificial person. And being an artificial person, anything that is to be get recognized or authorized means, if a company wants to buy or sell some land, uh, then the person who's buying would like to have a company signature, right? Authentication. Yes, this company sold me this land, right? Or something else, right? That authentication for that any documentation, for any other authentication of anything, a company has to sign. So, but being an artificial person, it cannot sign on its own. So, company on behalf of the company signature, uh, stamp will be prepared. Okay, registered stamp, company stamp, or common seal, which is used as a company's signature. So that's the reason why, see, on whenever you do any transaction with a company or government, what you get? You need to see the stamp, not only the authorized person signature, even the stamp you are supposed to see whether the stamp is there or not. Yes or not? Without the stamp, it won't be accepted, right? So company will have a own existence. Okay, and it is recognized by the law. It has its own existence, it works on its own. That's the reason why it is called as an artificial person. And it as an artificial person, it does not have its own, it cannot sign on its own, but its signature is very much important. That's the reason why a common seal is used. That's the basic nature of a company. So company is an artificial person. It has its own legal existence. It's created by the law, and has a common seal. Okay, so here is a case study: the Engineering and Locomotive Company Limited and State of Bihar. A case between these two. What happened? So, in company law subject, you are supposed to write case studies. Is this screen visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I think, right? Right? Hmm. Uh, yeah. So company their own name and has seal of its own. It's I said separate. So as I mentioned, as a corporate body, companies has its own existence and it's a seal also. Without that, no one can buy or sell. Okay. On Solomon and Company Limited. Here, what happened? A company. This is again one more case study. I lost all my. Okay. See, this Solomon Company Limited is a company owned by Solomon. Is started by Solomon, which is a shoe business. Okay, he first formed. He started as a sole trader firm. Then he formed, become a joint stock company named Solomon and Co Limited. Okay, so when he made all his wife, family, and all, okay, business, and after he formed that company, that business, into a joint stock company, he sold that company for $30,000. Then he received some money for that, selling that. Okay, in the form of shares and debentures. After that, yeah, all this is not necessary. A brief I'll tell. So what he started a business. After few days, when that business is getting successful, he converted that into joint stock company. And after few days again, he sold that company also someone else, and for $30,000, yeah, for $30,000 equivalent amount, he got some shares and debentures. Okay, for different lines. Then his family members also he subscribed. So he was appointed as a managing director of that company. After due course, company has went into liquidation. At the time of liquidation, assets okay. Yeah. At the time of liquidation, they paid everything, and even Solomon has been treated as a creditor, outsider, because he sold and he's just working in the company. He's only the owner, like a representative of the company. So only Solomon also has paid, though whether you have a sufficient. Say, for example, when you are closing your business, at the time of closing your business, you had to sell your assets, and whatever the money you realized, that money you are supposed to use for repaying your creditors. This point you learned in the accountancy also under company accounts. Acha, company accounts also now you get. Okay, shares company, right? Okay, so generally that is what happens in the business. So when a company went into the loss, they closed the business, and when they closed the business, the assets realized only a certain amount, but the company has to owe 10,000 to this person. Okay, so they treated even the Solomon as a creditor and outsider only, because he is no owner, because he already sold and he's just working for that. Okay, that one case if you write is enough. And now coming to the Yeah, other features of a joint stock company. A company, you can say, it is limited liability. The liability of the members is limited. Actually, there are three types of companies. Companies which liabilities are limited, and companies which liabilities are limited by shares, limited by guarantee, and unlimited companies. Okay, limited by shares means what? The liability of a company, the sorry shareholder, whoever become the shareholder. Shareholder means who? An individual who invests his savings in a company shares is called as a shareholder. Okay. So this liability of shareholder is limited by shares. Means, say for example, I purchase 10,000 shares of 10 rupees each. That means 1 lakh, right? So I'll be liable only to the extent of 1 lakh. And you suppose you purchased 1 lakh shares, 1,000 shares of 10 rupees each. You will be liable only to the extent of 10,000. So that is how it is. Company limited by shares means if any person becomes the shareholder of a company, and if a company goes into losses, then he will lose only whatever the amount of shares he purchased, that only. That is what limited by shares. The next one is limited by guarantee. Limited by guarantee means what? At the time of becoming a shareholder, company takes some guarantee from the shareholders. When he becomes a shareholder of the company, company will ask, you're supposed to pay company to bear this percentage, 5% of a company's losses or 2% of company's losses. That guarantee company takes from an individual when he becomes a shareholder of the company. So in such case, we call it as those companies as companies limited by guarantee. Unlimited companies, this is generally private companies, liabilities are unlimited, means whatever the total loss, that has to be shared by all the shareholders in this shareholding ratio, that is unlimited. Okay, means your private properties also will be considered. But in case of guarantee and limited by shares, only whatever the percentage you gave the guarantee, or whatever the number of shares you possess, that's only your loss in if company goes into wind up. Right? Did you understand? Common seal I already mentioned. uh, so that's about features and nature of a company. So altogether, if you look into the company, the nature of company, a company is an artificial person created by law, having separate from members, and it has its own common seal. Its liability of members is limited. Okay, these are the features itself tells about the nature of a company. Okay, now let us see kinds of companies. Uh, kinds of companies. Yeah, actually, based on their capital investment, based on the ownership, okay, and based on time period, okay, based on the location, based on the holding, companies have been classified into various types. Okay, so let us see of those kinds of companies, types of companies. I'll share the chart. From that, I'll explain you. Huh. Look at here. I think this is visible. Is this screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
What kinds of companies screen visible?
No, ma'am.
Chart.
Membership.
No, no, no. I'll show. I'll show. This someone's laptop I'm using. Yeah. Look at this kinds of companies. I just have taken some other websites. See, incorporate based on incorporation. Incorporation means what? Getting registration. A company registration is nothing but incorporation. How it got registered? Based on that, companies classified into three types. Is this screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Charter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Hmm. Uh, but my video is showing. Okay, okay, right. Sorry. Right. So, based on the incorporation, means how they got registered. Based on that, we have three types of companies: royal companies or chartered companies, statutory companies, and registered companies. Let us see about these royal chartered companies. Royal or chartered companies means the companies which got registered or got recognized by the act of a king or kingdom. We call them as the royal companies. Say, for example, if you see independence, before independence, we heard about East India Company. East India Company is an example of a chartered company which is recognized and by the act of a British king. Okay. So next one is statutory company. Statutory means law. So or a company which is formed by the acts of parliament or special law or special act. We call them as a statutory companies. Okay. A company which is formed by the act of parliament or a law or an special legal act, then we call it as a statutory company. If you look into the LIC, okay, or SBI, these are the organizations which are formed by special act of a law or parliament. We have many other new statutory also there. You can if you are interested, you can refer google it also. Now coming to the registered companies. Registered companies means what? Companies which got registered as per the companies act 2000 uh, sorry, as per the companies act 1956 or 2013 amended act. Okay. Registered companies means companies which got registered under as per the Companies Act to 1956 or 2013. Why are 1956 is the first act? After that, in 2013, this act has been um, amended. Okay, amendments have taken place relating to the same Companies Act in 2013. So, according to any of these acts, if a company gets registration, we call them as a registered company. So, okay, the next one is liability. Just now I explained under the features based on companies, based on liability. There are three companies: limited by shares, limited by guarantee, and limited company. Means a company in which shareholders' liability is limited to the extent of shares. We call them as a limited liability shares by shares. Okay, and if a company's shareholders' liability is limited to the extent of the guarantee given, then we call those companies as limited by guarantee companies. And if the company members' liability is unlimited, we call them as the unlimited liability companies. Okay. Now coming to the control, based on the control, who is going to control your business? How the business is going to run. Based on that control of the business, there are two companies: holding company and subsidiary company. Holding company means what? A company who is having more than 50% of shares in another company, then it is called as holding company. Like there are A, B, C, D companies. A is the big company which has a huge business, and some C which is getting into losses or sick. Then this company bought its company shares. That C company shares more than 50% of share and took the right. Okay, then the entire control comes into the holding company. If you say, okay, subsidiary company. Subsidiary company means a company which is subsidiary to the holding company. Means in C company becomes subsidiary company. Why? Because C company is having below 50% of shares. So C is called as a subsidiary company. A is called as a holding company because A is having above 50% of shares in a C company. So company A is going to control the activities of company C. Did you got holding company and subsidiary company? Now coming to the next one, transferability of shares. Based on the transferability of shares, companies again have two types: private company, public company. As per this, 2013 Amendment Act, there is a one man company also there. One man company. One man company means there is only a single individual who runs his business under the joint stock form. Like the recent startups, whatever we are seeing, or evidential for this one man company. Means there is only the one person who comes with the business idea, who starts business. If you take Byju's, is a one man company. He started with a startup business. Then he went to IPO, that is initial public offer. Means he raised his capital through shares, and now he is running his business. That is one man company. Okay. Next one is public company. Public company means what? And this company mostly owned by the government or the public. Okay. Majority of the shares are held by government and the business. Okay. Under the public company, the company raise its capital also from the public only in the form of shares. Okay, so in order to raise that capital, it issue the prospectus also. Okay, now coming to the private company. Private company means what? This is a company which raises its capital among its members only. It will not issue shares to the public. Understood? A private company is the one which raises capital from the members among itself, but not from the public. So it will not issue any prospectus. Okay, as it is raising among the members, so no need to issue the prospectus. So that's about classification of joint stock companies or kinds of joint stock companies. Okay. Now let us see about our next topic. What is our next topic? Incorporation of a company. Incorporation of a company. So, in under the incorporation of a company, let us see what is incorporation mean and how does the process takes place. Yeah, you before we go to this, this is also important. Um what is that? Difference between a public company and private company. See, chartered, statutory, registered. Here it is, kinds of companies, liability on the basis of control. Again, they can be on the basis of liability, public, private, company limited by guarantee, public, private. You can see whenever you are giving the answers, wherever you have the charts or diagrams, better use those charts and diagrams to score good marks. Okay. Uh, so that will help you to fetch good marks. Explain this. Other kinds of registered companies. Yeah. Under the registered companies, you have producer company, one person company, small company. Producer company is nothing but manufacturing units. Mm, okay. Producer means the one who is connected primarily with the business. Okay. where he is explaining this all. Producer company. So manufacturing producer is nothing but manufacturing companies. Uh, it's a company, a body corporate which is engaged in manufacturing of goods. That is primary product. That is farmers, okay, agriculture, farmers who are into agriculture or any other primary activity like mm, uh, handlooms, handicrafts, cottage industries, byproducts, ancillary activities. All this comes under the producer companies. Okay. Uh, Now, in these producer companies, minimum and maximum, any 10 or more producers, individual, or 2 or more producers, institutions. If individuals means 10 or more must be there, minimum. If it is an institution, 2 or more must be there to have a minimum number of members. Okay. Mm, Share capital, company generally equity shares only they'll raise, they'll not go for preferential shares. The next one is transfer of shares. Sorry, so, yeah, this producer company shares members uh, cannot shall not be transferable in case he is an active member of the board. Liability of members in this, it's a limited to the amount of the shares that held by him only. Promoters remuneration not necessary. Private company voting rights, yes, they'll have, they are the only their business. One person company, this is a latest one, you can expect this in a short answers. One person company, as per our, you don't please ignore this ignore. I didn't get our material online, so I just downloaded ignore's material. Whatever I know the topics, just to show you. Okay, so one person company is also there, as per the amendment of Companies Act in 2013. There came into existence one person company. One person company means what? A company which is owned by only single individual, but he raises capital from the public. Okay, where he himself manages, but it is sole trader among with his own capital he run. But here this person is single but raise capital from the public. After once he gets successful with the sole trader, like that he generally they go. Okay. So this one person company can be limited by shares or limited by guarantee because he is only the person. It is up to him how he wants to register his company. Mm, But after his company name, he must mention the name one person company for sure. Okay, within the brackets. The next one is okay. The next one is nothing but small company was introduced for the first time. Again, this also in 2013 Companies Act Amendment. Okay, according to this, this small company means what? Company other than a public company. That same we used to have earlier private company. Now they are calling it as a small company, which means other than the public company. Did you all understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, shall we move?
Yes.
Yeah, next one is incorporation. What is this incorporation? One second. Incorporation. Yeah. Incorporation of a company. The next one is incorporation of a company. What is incorporation? I already mentioned registration of a company. to get a company registered, we need to the companies need to follow certain legal formalities as per the Companies Act. So, what are these legal formalities, and how what documents to be submitted for the incorporation of a company? Let us see here. This is another important topic. Hmm, I missed all my PPTs. Incorporation. See, to get a company incorporated, it is necessary for every businessman to follow certain legal formalities. Whether a private company or a public company, they need to get it registered. Okay, incorporation means what? Registration. So whether it is a public or a private, they are supposed to get it registered. uh, Only the thing, a public company get it a public company has to get different certificates. A private company will get only one certificate. The procedure they form. Okay. Yeah, I'll share you the other thing. Incorporation, public company and private company both will go for a incorporation. So, what about this public and private incorporation? So, to get a company registered, it is important for a firm to submit certain documents. Among that, first document is what do you call it is memorandum of association. The next document is articles of association. Okay, memorandum of association and articles of association. What next after these two? Again, about these two documents, we need to learn in detail in a long answer. Okay, memorandum of association, articles of association, list of directors, written consent of directors, and statutory declaration. These are the documents to be submitted by the joint stock company in order to get incorporated. So, okay, any company, whether it is a public limited company or a private limited company or a one-man company, once they want to be a company, they are supposed to show somewhere. Okay. Uh, yeah. So, memorandum of association. What is this memorandum of association? This document is also called as the charter of the company. Like how a king is important to the entire kingdom, same way for the entire organization, this document is most important. That's the reason why this document is called as charter of the company, the most important document, memorandum of association. And this memorandum of association, we learn in detail, consists of certain clauses, and this memorandum of association tells the external relating to the rules and regulations and the information relating to the firm for the external environment, means whatever whoever the outsiders there, uh, every outsider wants to know about the company, right? So that company related information which an outsider expects to know about company, all that details will be given in this memorandum of association. I'll repeat once again. Memorandum of association is one of the important document to be submitted at the time of incorporation of a company, that is registration of a company. So what is this memorandum of incorporation? It is and its importance, if you see the importance, it's like a charter of a company, means it's like king of the company, entire company. Now how do it works? How do you may say, mama, how? So how it works is, through this document, the company give the entire information, rules and regulations relating to the company for the outsiders, that is external people. Okay, why it is so? You may get doubt again, because yeah, why it is important, or like memorandum, external world, relating to the external world, whatever is important and whatever the information that the external people would like to get from the company, all that information is provided under this memorandum of association. That's the reason why we call it as an important. uh, mm. The next one is, so all the rules. What contains it contains? It contains the name clause, objective clause, name and situation clause, objective clause. Uh, okay. So about these clauses in detail, again we'll learn separately. Now we are discussing it under the incorporation of a company. So at the time of incorporation, he has to fill this memorandum. So okay. Second document is articles of association. Again, this document is the most important document next to memorandum of association. Why? Because as memorandum of association gives information related, expect that is seek by the public. These articles of association tells about the terms and conditions, rules and regulations for the internal management, means within the country, within the organization. What are the rules and regulations? What are the objectives? What is the terms and conditions that an employee is to be observed? That will be given under the articles of association. So both are documentation. Mm, okay, so that is uh, memorandum of association, right? Mm, internal, again, these articles of association, form to form differs. Why? Because every form will have its own terms and conditions, rules and regulations. So articles of association tells the rules and regulations for the internal management, which is separate individual for the form to form. Okay, it is also a secondary important document. Now coming to that next one, next thing is that list of directors. After these two documents, a company has to submit the list of directors also, means how, who are the directors of the company, who are the individuals going to act as the directors of a company, what are their names, addresses and location. Okay, their positions after they are appointed, the names and the list of the all the directors of a company who is going to play in the company working has to be given. After that, written consent of directors. What is the written consent of directors? Means it is not the company to decide, right? Yeah. See, if I am given the chance, I can give my all the five members, whoever listen to me, or just to fill the names. But how do I get confirmation, authentication, right? That's the reason why, along with this list of directors, Act also ask company to submit written consent of directors. That is, whoever the names of directors are given with their name, location, addresses, all those directors have to give a written consent. They are agreed to act as the directors of company. Not only that, there also has to buy certain company shares, because to be a director of the company, he must possess a certain percentage of shares of a company. Okay, so that agreement also they should give. Yes, when company issue the shares, we are going to buy a 10% shares of a company or 15% of shares of a company, whatever. Okay, so that is written consent of directors. Written consent of directors means directors accepting or agreeing to buy the qualifying shares of a company. Hello? Yeah. Mm, is this screen visible to you all?
No, ma'am.
Why didn't you say to me? Is this visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So written consent of directors, that is, directors should give their agreement that they should agree to buy the company shares when company issue the shares to be qualified as a director of the company. Means to be a director of the company, he must possess certain shares. Okay. Next thing is that written consent over articles of association, memorandum of association, list of directors, written consent. The last one is statutory declaration. What is this statutory declaration? That the people who are involved in a incorporation of a company should give or should declare that they followed and observed all the rules and regulations of a companies act to be to get registration. Means for the purpose of registration of a joint stock company, whatever the rules and regulations are given in the Joint Stock Companies Act 2013 that have been followed. That declaration, like see, if when you're filling a form, at the end of the form, self declaration comes. I accept all the above information true and genuine to my knowledge. Right? Did you notice that? Have you ever come across of such things? Even for your BRAO application form, after you fill everything at the end, you will have that. I accept all the above information that is provided by me is true and genuine, and I admit to the any wrong information. Did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, same way, company also has to give its a declaration that is saying that it observed and followed all the rules and regulations of a Joint Stock Companies Act, and these documents has to be signed by all the people involved in the preparation of a incorporation of a company. Means in the registration process, whoever involved in the registration process, the directors, the advocate, and the witness, all these people has to sign on this statutory declaration saying that they followed all the rules and regulations. Okay. And once all these five documents are ready, that is memorandum, articles, list of directors, written consent, and statutory declaration. Once all these five documents are ready, then these directors will go to the registrar of joint stock companies and submit all these five documents to him. Then this registrar, what he will do, he collects some charges, that is registration fee, and takes some time. In between that, he go through all these documents and their genuinity, whether these documents are genuine or not, how they followed all the rules and regulations or not, and all these verification, it is called verification or checking. Okay, what do you call? Check. Okay, so it will be done by the registrar, and if he satisfies all this information given in these documents is true and genuine, then he will enter the company name in the books of joint stock companies register, uh, will issue a certificate to the company. Then the company is that certificate is called certificate of incorporation. A company can start its business only after it receives a certificate of incorporation. Okay. If he not satisfied, say registrar is not satisfied with any document, he will call and again ask them to recheck and redo it, and until unless he satisfies with all the documents, he will not enter. Okay, once he is satisfied with all the documents and the information provided, then the registrar will enter the company name in a register called Joint Stock Companies, Register of Joint Stock Companies, and will issue a certificate. Did you got it? So this
Yes, ma'am.
once company get registered, in the company, both actually earlier, after getting this incorporation cert company, public limited companies are asked to go for one more certificate, that is certificate of commencement business, because public limited companies cannot start their business until they get their commencement of business certificate, but private limited companies can start their business immediately after incorporation, that is before 2013. But from the 2013 amendment, both public and private limited companies can start their business after getting the certificate of incorporation. Okay, so actually, for you, the commencement of business also there. In academics, that has not been edited, that is there still in the academics books. So as per the academic books, you are supposed to prepare for the commencement of business certificate topic also. It's only 3 marks question or 5 marks question, whatever you have, small answer. Did you understood now incorporation of a company?
Yes, ma'am.
So why only this Atufa? Are you?
Yes, ma'am.
This is Atufa. Why only she is there? Others not there? Yeah. So,
There, ma'am.
but no one else is talking. Means responding. No talking, responding. Yeah. So that's about incorporation of a company. So let us see what is our next topic. What is it called? After incorporation, we have explanation to memorandum and articles of association, prospectus. Okay, this topic I'll take in the next class, because rest all in one class we can complete. Okay, I'll continue with the next class. Uh, Today's class we understood the objective of having this subject in our curriculum. Okay, then we discuss about what is company and what is nature of company, and I explained different the classification of joint stock companies based on their incorporation, ownership. Okay, uh, liability control. After kinds of companies, we also discussed about incorporation of a company, under which there are 5 documents which a company has to submit, and all these 5 documents, this incorporation is compulsory for both public and private companies. Only after getting this certificate they can start their business. So that's about today's topic that we discussed today in our class. Okay, we'll continue with the next topic in next class, and now it's your time. Do you have any doubts? Did you followed today's class?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you followed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Followed.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? I'm so sorry. Yeah. Can you all open your videos? Turn on your videos. Camera, not video. I'm sorry. Did you have any doubt? What is my English? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Sure, everyone. I want to know this Oppo and Vivo.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I hope you all understood. So, shall we close our today's class? Very good. Very good. Thank you, Shivaji. Shivaji only, no? Huh. I'll call you Shivaji or Puri. Okkadu Puri. Okay. Right. So, next class, I'll try to present my videos, my what you call PPTs. And this class PPTs also, if I open, I'll share in the group. Okay. Right. Thank you all. Yeah. Do you have any doubt? Fifth semester. Who's this? Vivo. Great. This is fifth
Fifth
semester
semester
company law subject.
name. Okay, okay.
Right. Thank you, children. Thank you for being here. I would like to see more numbers in next class.
Oh, okay.
Will you suggest your friends?
They are attending two classes, ma'am. Coming to last class, they are not attending.
Oh, first two classes only they attended.
Uh, yes, ma'am.
The subject actually case studies also will be there. You need to write accordingly. In the textbook, whatever the topics they mention the case studies. In exam also, if you get that topic for a question, you need to mention about that case study in simple terms. At least
Okay.
one two lines. Okay, so mm, make sure that they attend this class. Right. Thank you, children. Bye. You have class, one more class, right?
No, ma'am. This is the last class.
1:30 to 2:30, last class. Ma'am, next Sunday I have class.
On 31st.
Next Sunday.
Yes.
నెక్స్ట్ సండే క్లాస్ ఉండదా మళ్ళీ మనకి? హలో. హలో మ్యామ్, నెక్స్ట్ సండే క్లాస్ ఉంటుందా ఉండదా మళ్ళీ? హలో. Anybody have this book? हेलो। हेलो। हेलो तो सा
यस।
आज भैया,
यस।
ये बुक है आपके पास?
हाँ, मेरे पास ये वाली बुक है पर कॉमर्स 10 नहीं है।
क्लास पूरा सुन लिया,
जी।
स्टार्टिंग से एंडिंग तक?
जी।
समझ में आया?
जी।
तो ये तो बुक है हमारे पास, नहीं है ये बुक्स। इसमें तो ये
आपने
तो काम क्या?
आप नए परचेज करें यूनिवर्सिटी से?
नहीं नहीं, मेरे को क्या बोलते हैं, वो घर को आया था वो पोस्ट में। लेकिन
जी।
ये बुक तो नहीं है मेरे पास। मैं तो ढूंढ रहा हूँ, मेरा बुक्स में ढूंढ रहा हूँ, ये तो नहीं मिला। उसके बाद याद हुआ ये तो नहीं है
हाँ,
मेरे पास।
यूनिवर्सिटी से एक बुक नहीं दी है। शायद आपको वो नहीं मिले, बाजुन को 2 बुक्स नहीं मिले। बाजुन को एक बुक नहीं मिले, मेरे फ्रेंड को 2 बुक्स भी नहीं मिले, उनको कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग भी नहीं मिला।
अच्छा।
जी। मेरे को कॉमर्स 10 नहीं मिला। वो लोग बोले कि
ये
मार्च में आ, लेकिन
हाँ।
फरवरी में तो एग्जाम्स है अपने।
अच्छा।
मुझे भी ये डाउट था पर इससे पूछना मेरे को भी नहीं समझ में आया था।
हाँ, मेरे पास तो एज है, बट आई हैव नो इनकम टैक्स, या आई हैव इनकम टैक्स बट आई हैव इनकम टैक्स एंड कॉमर्स क्या बोलते, बिजनेस वो ही है।
कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग।
या यस यस, कास्ट अकाउंटिंग, या करेक्ट यू
हाँ,
सेड।
yes, I have also cost accounting and company law, but I